Good evening. Today at around 1:52 in the afternoon, the Sheriff's Office Communication Center received calls concerning gunshots in the area of Commonwealth and Division Street. Later, an officer observed a vehicle matching the description of a potential suspect vehicle from that incident. The officer attempted to contact the individuals in that vehicle in the area of 2400 West 24th Street, West 45th Street, during which there was an exchange of gunfire. Fortunately, our officer was not struck by the gunfire at that incident. Investigators later recovered a handgun at that scene. The suspects then fled the area in the vehicle, resulting in a police vehicle pursuit. The pursuit ended at Bush Drive and Zoo Parkway, where the suspect vehicle continued straight through a T intersection, striking a civilian vehicle and then coming to rest in the wood line against the zoo fence line. The civilians in that vehicle that was struck were not injured. Officers then gave loud audible commands to surrender through police loudspeakers. The suspects did not comply. A decision was made to employ a K-9 into the vehicle. At least one suspect fired a weapon at the K-9, striking the dog. 5 officers returned fire and extracted the K-9 to safety. A standoff ensued where one suspect surrendered by exiting the vehicle. He was transported to a local hospital for injuries related to the car crash. He was not struck by gunfire. SWAT officers later cleared the vehicle and determined 2 suspects in the vehicle to be deceased. The medical examiner will determine the cause of death at a later time. A rifle was recovered in the vehicle. At this time, the identity of the suspects is not known. We'll provide that information later once the investigation continues. All right, the K-9 is currently out of surgery and is in stable condition. In this incident, officers at the scene decided to place the K-9 on our police helicopter, and we transported the K-9 to the beach, Jacksonville Beach Veterinarian Clinic out there. I want to take this time to thank the Jacksonville Beach Police on their end for allowing us to land our helicopter in a busy area. And I also like to thank FHP for helping us with traffic control around the scene. So there's enough stories about our K-9s and their handlers out there among social media and such. So I'm not going to confirm the name of the dog that was struck by gunfire in order to protect those under Marcy's Law, as well as our other officers. I'll now take any questions.
So for clarification, the dog was shot at the closer location and not the location over by 45th Street?
Correct, yes.
And there were 3 people in the vehicle?
3 people in the vehicle that we got here at Bush Drive, yes.
And that vehicle believed to be related to 45th?
Yes, that vehicle at 45th, police officers were in a pursuit from that location to here. We also believe it's from the initial offense from the call that we got around 1:52 in the afternoon.
Do you believe that anybody inside of that car was wanted by you guys or anything like that?
We don't have the identity of those suspects, the individuals in the car at this time, but that'll be forthcoming later if we have
one person was taken into custody, but the other 2 that were in the vehicle?
Yes, sir.
Deceased.
Yes, sir.
And in terms of the initial call, was this some sort of drive-by shooting or just some random shooting in that area that alerted authorities to that location?
Yeah, we received calls, anonymous calls about it in the area. We're still working through that, so I appreciate it.
About it being a shooting?
About a shooting that occurred in that area, yes, sir.
But no one was hit in that area?
We don't know. We're still working through that. Thanks. All right?
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Oh, I had one last question. Can you comment on how, because I know we've spoken with people that were inside the zoo that were terrified. They could hear the shots.
Sure.
Not sure if a bullet was going to come their way. Can you talk about just the sheer danger of this situation when you guys are faced with the unknown? You know that there's a zoo behind there, but you know that there are potentially armed suspects.
Right. Yes. Obviously, at the second scene where the officer first made contact with the vehicle, that was very fluid and definitely volatile. Right. As we moved into the second scene, We were able to contain the vehicle, but out of safety precautions, we put a shelter in place. We want to make sure we have everybody in the scene, at the scene that we need to maintain, and so we just worked through that. So I appreciate it.
And how?
Yeah, thanks. And we got a long night ahead of us, so I appreciate it. So thanks.